do an Infinity Nikki house tour because it is a house that I've spent a lot of time and resources on over the past few months, and I'm really proud of it. Um, I previously hadn't had, much of a chance to record the whole thing, so I thought I would do so now. So starting off in the front, I have a little Linlong section here. When the house pavilion banner first came out with that corridor, I didn't realize that you only needed 3 of them, and I bought 4 right away, thinking, oh, 4 would be enough. But because of that, I had to do something with it. I bought a second lotus pool. And the fans are just there out just because I could. I was just kind of testing my load limit. Coming along to the front, though, we are going to go here. We're going to go through these arches. I do have a little area over here that I will show off toward the end. But first, we're going to go to the house itself. So as you can see, it is 2 stories. It is a mixture of the base house plus the Galaxy Manor parts. Most of the Galaxy Manor parts are inside. I have the little Linlong pavilion over here as well. It's the entire one that was the preset with the lantern, the goldfish, the corridors. They are different seasons, the corridors. Over here is a little area that I kind of use for decorations that I want to put out. And like right now I have the dragon bone accessory or decoration. But whatever I have out here just kind of depends on my mood. It has floor, it has the rocks around it just to make it look a little bit more neater. Next up on the agenda is going to be my animals and my planting section. So here are my animals. With names that are totally not from a completely different video game series, totally original names. But yeah, here are the different animals that I have, and then in here is my plant section. It is kind of in an awkward position, but there's a reason for that, as you may have noticed. I only have 5 large planters or fields. And you may have noticed that the lawn is nice and neat. There's a reason for that, and that's why this is in the area that it is, because it just looks better that way. I've got a pavilion that I'm going to put some boneyard accessories in, and then a little flower garden here that I use for photo sets, photography, just different things, as well as the little pavilion from the Galaxy set, or the original Galaxy set when it first came out, not the Galaxy Manor. So let's go into the house proper. So it is on a pond. So I have all of these rocks leading up to the walkway, as well as a little bridge that goes into it. In the front of the house, I have all of the flower stands that people have sent to me. I've got the Linlong incense burner. Don't know if you know this, but if you add certain ingredients, you do actually get a incense figurine of the animal, which I think is the fan egret and the brow cat. Over here is a little bit of a sun room area along with my crafting table. A lot of the original Galaxy furniture is in here. So it's a little bit on theme, a little bit of a mystical look. I also have some of the Galaxy Manor walls mixed in with the base walls, as I said. Inside of here is Nikki's kitchen, where she does all of her cooking. I mostly just make dessert. Honestly, when I cook with Nikki, on the table, you can see placemats. They are actually functional because I have the green placemat underneath. You can kind of see it's clipping there on the left. I just didn't like the way that it looked. That green just stood out of place, so I covered it with a placemat. Got a functional fireplace here. I've got all of these dolls over here. Upstairs, we've got 2 kind of bedroom-like areas. We have the bedroom that I like to joke goes Momo's room because Nikki has her own bedroom, but I really just wanted another place for like seating and a bed. I wanted that bunny chair out. And then here, again, more of the Galaxy furniture set, as well as a little sitting area down under here, because if we go up the stairs here, this is Nikki's actual bedroom. This is Nikki's bed. It is fully functional. She's got a little turtle plush. She can rest if she wants, but I'm not going to do that for the sake of this video. Just because I want to continue to go on, just kind of show off the rest of the house. So the house does have a secret. It's got a little bit of what I call a basement. So first, if we go down the basement and we go underneath the stairs, there is the mermaid grotto set. This fit perfectly in here. I was able to put down the flooring, the walls, the bathtub thankfully fit in here. Not all of the furniture could fit in here, unfortunately. But that light makes it look really bright, and I love the way that the water, like, kind of effect from the pond fits in. And then underneath here is another little sitting area. It is Nikki's murder basement, so she's got the spider web. She has the fireplace in here, the ominous fireplace, the ominous spider web. She's got the evidence cabinets full of different jars and potions and probably magical books and everything. And then if we go along over here, we can clip through the wall, which is a rug. And we are in the actual murder part of the murder basement, which has the coffin inside of it. It's got one of the cloud jade trees, and a rock, because, you know, who doesn't love rock and casks underneath their murder in their basement. So that's the house. There's a couple of other decorations that I want to show off. So over here are my fish ponds. They are all fully functional. They are in the shape of a river. So you can see all of my different fish ponds over here. There is a little bit of a rock walkway up here, which leads to the viewing platforms that came as part of some of the Galaxy furniture. I don't quite like the way it looks. It clips a little bit, as you can see there, but I was able to stack one on top of the other. And if we look over the horizon, there is the reason as to why I have to have my planting section in the way that it is. And we're going to go visit it over there. I do have a warp spire that is on top of the floating island. But for the sake of the video and just kind of showing you like how it works for somebody who may or may not have access to the warp spire, how they can get up to the floating island if they so wish, and they can take pictures up there. They can just walk around. I've got the little fortune telling set, again, fully functional, where you can ask the stars for fortunes using the tarot cards of the 8. I've got a little cemetery. It is not fully functional. I don't know who is buried here. Maybe Momo's from Nikki's past. And then if we go up here, we are able to actually jump across these rocks, and we can get to the floating platform, or the floating island. It is a little bit of a climb, but there's one or two like tricky sections up here, but if you just continue to jump and continue to climb, you will eventually make it up to the top. Yep, and here's the top. I believe it is a hill or a ridge that I inverted, and then I put a pond on top of it for some terrain, so it's not entirely flat. Doesn't fit one-to-one as far as the edges, but it fits nicely enough. I think the rock just adds a little bit of, you know, more texture to it. I have the Lindlang seasonal couch underneath here. I have it set to autumn because I have the rock set up in such a way that it perfectly aligns with Nikki leaning on the rock. Again, this is for photography reasons. One of my favorite poses to do, but it is fully functional. You just kind of have to know what the different seasons are, and you can switch the seasons, and you can use the other side. I've got those pink shrubs there, again, for photography purposes if I want a field that looks like flowers. And inside here, I have the shrine to the 8. So I have all 8 screens, and I have all 8 portraits. My one regret is that I'm not able to put the screens above, the portraits above the screens as neatly as I would like, and that's partially because of that one back there. It's so close to underneath the stairs that there's just no room, but it works well enough. I might switch it out and put the Linling Pavilion up here, put the 8 down there just so they're a little bit closer. But again, anything that goes on this island is going to be out of sight for most people. I used to have the rocks starting from behind the island, but like nobody knew that they were there. So oftentimes people would not notice. So I put the rocks in the front of the island so people can see them now. And that's pretty much it for the island itself. There's really not a lot left. I have blocked off the river at both ends, so it's blocked there, it's blocked down there. I have a little bit of ruins over here in the middle of a pond. I've got one of the flower pavilions. From the housing banner, I've got it submerged. I've got Titan statues. I've got a fire pit. And everything is surrounded by terrain, so there are extra hills and ridges. I've got 2 peaks on the island, and there's a lot of pink. Um, as you may have noticed, I have a lot of blossom trees. There is a lot of pink on this island. I have 100 blossom trees. It took a really long time for me to build all of them. But yeah, that is basically the island. And I want to thank you so much for, watching if you managed to watch all the way through. I really and hope that you enjoyed the island tour and that maybe this inspires you a little bit. So, let me know if you decide to take any of my ideas. I would definitely be interested in hearing about them. And if you have any ideas as to what I can do for the island, I would be more than happy to hear about those as well. So, thank you.